Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Thursday, July the 8th. And this local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. Tropical Storm Elsa stayed west of Flagler County yesterday. We had a few storm bands move through earlier in the day. Jonathan Lord is the county's emergency management director.
So we were very lucky. The storm stayed west of us, and while we did get a couple of smaller bands that came through early in the day on Wednesday, the only impacts we really had were about 40 homes that lost power for a couple of hours, but they were back on by 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. So all in all, Flagler County was well prepared. Our residents were prepared, and luckily the impact did not come.
Flagler County saw normal summer storm rain and some wind gusts as Elsa passed to the west. Fire and brimstone at Palm Coast City Council's Tuesday night meeting. Amy Cherry has the story.
Furious over an HR investigation opened into him over alleged harassment of city staff, Palm Coast City Councilman Ed Danko lashed out at Tuesday night City Council meeting, attacking interim city manager Denise Bevan and city attorney Bill Reichman. Let's take a listen.
You know, what can I say? Politics is a rough sport. But I got to tell you, I'm further disgusted by the fact that our city manager is going to allow this thing to stay open when she could just simply close it. But then again, who hired her? Who put her in this position? Matt Morton. And I'll tell you, I'm very disgusted with our city attorney. I've been lied to enough by this man. I've been told one thing on the phone to find it be another thing in person at a later date. From now on, when either of you folks want to communicate with me, make it in writing, because I will not pick up the phone. I will not talk to you. I do not trust you. And rest assured, once there's a new mayor, I will be making 2 motions on day 1. Motion to cancel our contract with his law firm and a motion to terminate you for cause as our interim city manager.
Councilman Nick Kloufis questioned how Danko plans to do his job if he won't speak to city staff.
I think it is incredibly irresponsible to say you're not going to talk to city staff. You're not going to have an avenue of communication to the city because you don't trust our city lawyer and our city manager. You're not going to be able to ask them for questions. You're not going to be able to integrate with them to try to figure out what's going on in the city. How are you going to be an effective councilman without being able to talk to our staff?
I'm going to be very effective because after the mayor is elected, I'm going to make the motions to terminate these 2 people.
But until then,
they can email me.
At the same meeting, Danko also attacked Mayor Melissa Holland, who resigned in May.
I had a confidential off-the-record briefing from senior law enforcement 3 weeks ago. You folks may not know this, but Melissa Holland did not resign because of her daughter. The briefing I received, she resigned because there were criminal charges in the ethics complaint that was filed against her by our former compliance officer.
Others on council, like Vice Mayor Eddie Branquinho, questioned Danko's confidential source.
That's some grave accusations that I heard over there.
I assume you got the briefing?
Sir, the briefing on what?
Law enforcement didn't brief you? Someone in a senior position?
super secret confidential?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
When was that supposed to happen?
I got it 3 weeks ago. I know another individual who got it 3 weeks ago, too.
We're going to put it out there today that Councilman Danko heard from a senior law enforcement from a department that at this point he can't release, I have no idea why, that Melissa Holland is under criminal investigation. I would like to be informed about it.
I will send you to the right person.
Holland emphatically denies the claims.
Money is being made available to help Flagler County residents who are behind on their rent. Flagler County Media Marketing Manager Lacey Martin.
There is a program available in Florida called OurFlorida.com. That's OUR Florida.com. And it is actually a rental assistance program for low-income renters whose household income is at or below 80% of the area median. That varies by county, but our initiative here is just we really want the renters to know in Flagler County that if they're struggling or if they're having any issues, they should definitely look into this program because it is available and they can qualify for up to 15 months of rent and utility payments.
For more information on the program or to find out if you qualify, go to OurFlorida.com. Did you remember to take your meds today? Dr. Hussam Adine from Excellence Health in Daytona Beach says it's often the case many patients forget to take their medications because they may have dementia or other memory issues in which they don't remember when to take them.
This is why support is needed for these patients. And if the patient is at home, that support comes through the family.
Dr. Adine said that if it's needed, the patient can get home health services, including social services, where they can be introduced to what's in the community for them. This interview came from Lifeline, sponsored by Advent Health, which you can hear on Saturday mornings at 9 on WNZF, or you can listen to the podcast on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Dr. Adine talks about how chronic pain affects a patient's mental health. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.